Hi, this is Terry, and I want to talk to you today about the how to build an affordable hyperbaric chamber number 2. Number 1 was a 55-gallon drums that we put together and made a chamber that works quite well. Problems that I have with it is getting in and out is tight, and once you're inside it's very claustrophobic and tight. So we went out and located a stainless steel tank, which is about 48 inches by 43 inches by about 52 inches, and we converted it here to a mild hyperbaric chamber, which uses compressed air at about 5 psi, and our air input comes on this end. We have a pressure gauge and a vacuum gauge here on the inside, all off of a T to make this, using the existing hole in the tank, a fill hole. We have a water-cooled air line, copper tube, and a 55-gallon drum of water, a Bullard pump that pumps out 10 psi, or 10 cubic feet of air at a 10 psi rating. And we have a spring-loaded pressure relief valve here, and we also have a weighted valve here that I don't know, it's an old industrial weight, but by adjusting the weights on it, we got it set for around 5 psi. And you can see here that we, again, by using T's and whatnot, we've run in electricity into the tank. And with the electricity, we can turn the pump on from the inside while having electric all the time. We even have I'm climbing inside here, and excuse me a second. Okay, we're back recording, and got a little clock. My friend put a PTV in here. Got some Christmas lights in here that work quite well. There's the pressure gauge, which is an old automotive gauge. We've got a fan in here to move the air around a little bit. We use the existing door from this tank, and we made a couple small slits you can see here. And by bending them over, and we could roll the door inside the tank, then roll it back, and then use some silicone sealer here to seal it all up again, using closed foam all the way around to help seal it off. This is that window sealer you get at Walmart or hardware store for sealing around your windows. It's a closed foam, and it works real well. And we had to cut off a ring, a couple inches here, of top of a 55-gallon drum, and cut off a portion, maybe a ½ inch, roll it inside the tank, and then what that does is it gives us a nice sealing ring on the inside of the tank for the door to seal on. And we just seal around the outside with silicone sealer, and it all worked quite well. I'm going to turn the tank on here just to give you an idea what it goes. I've got the electric, and we also got a switch here. You can hear the pump starting, and then I'm going to take the door. Got to use the right side here. And you can see that the door is already starting to seal. This tank, because of the size, Takes about 4 or 5 minutes to fill up with 5 psi air, and like I say, I can turn the fan on, show you that I've got electric in here, and 2 adults can fit in here quite nicely, and we put a couple windows in the door so we can see out and see in. Got a special release valve here that can release the pressure, but by turning the pump off, the air will go back drain out of the pump nice and slowly, and you don't pressurize, depressurize too fast at all. But we feel that we've got a really nice system here, and like I said, the nice thing is that it's big enough. We built a little bench, put some carpeting on it to make it softer, and so, like I say, 2 adults can sit in here quite comfortably, and if they want, my friend can watch TV and has a VCR, and he can, it helps pass the time easier than the 55-gallon drum system. The whole intent of this is just to demonstrate that there are options for somebody who wants to go out and do it. The 55, this stainless steel tank was destined for the scrapyard, and we located it from a friend, pressure washed it, cleaned it out real good, and it does everything that the $5,000 to $20,000 units do, and it cost us well under $500, and most of that was in the used pump off of eBay or Craigslist. So, like I said, I was just trying to make people aware that if they really want a hyperbaric chamber, mild hyperbaric chamber with just air, you can do it. I'm going to do a little experiment to demonstrate that this is safe with electric in here. I'm going to light up a candle. I'll turn this off now. And when the pressure drops down, like I said right here, you can see the vacuum gauge. So when the pressure breaks down, the door can fall off. It's like I say, you're not going to be trapped in here or anything. And we find that this works very well. I hope this is interesting and helpful to anybody who's interested in a hyperbaric chamber. And like I said, I will at the very end, I'm going to redo this with a light up a candle in here and pressurize it, just to show that you don't have to worry about an explosion or some catastrophe because you have electric or even a candle in here, although I'd never recommend using a candle in here in real use, because it does take up oxygen, and you're trying to get more oxygen into your body. So thank you so much. Goodbye. Okay, we just shut the door and starting to build pressure on here. If you see in there, we got a little candle going, and I'll see if that candle gets any brighter when we get up to pressure. But the tank is pressurizing, and like I say, it takes 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to cut the video for a minute, and then we'll come back to this once we're up to our operating pressure. Okay, you can see here that we're about 4.5, not quite 5 psi on the pressure gauge, and the candle is still burning. To me, it looks like it's a little brighter, but that, it's hard to judge. But for sure, there's no issues there in the tank with a lit candle and electricity. And like I say, I feel for our own use, it's very comfortable as long as you use pressurized air and not oxygen. Pure oxygen would be an issue. But this is a mild chamber. It's intended to be a mild chamber running at 4 to 5 psi. And again, I hope that people out there find this interesting and helpful if they're interested in building their own unit. This works for us. We're happy with it. Bye.